Hello there, YouTube, and welcome to part 1 of me reading Mein Kampf out loud to you. Well, to a camera. So, yeah. Mein Kampf, written by Adolf Hitler, translated into English by James Murphy. Author's introduction: on April 1st, 1924, I began to serve my sentence of detention in the fortress of Landsberg and Bleck, following the verdict of the Munich People's Court at that time. After years of uninterrupted labor, it was now possible for the first time to begin a work which many had asked for, and which I myself felt would be profitable for the movement. My dog. So I decided to devote 2 volumes to a description not only of the aims of our movement, but also to its development. There is more to be learned from this than any purely doctrinaire treatise. This has also given me the opportunity of describing my own development insofar as a description is necessary to the understanding of the first as well as the second volume, and to destroy the legendary fabrications which the Jewish press has circulated about me. In this work I turn not to strangers but to those followers of the movement whose hearts belong to it and who wish to study it more profoundly. I know that fewer people are won over by the written word than the spoken word, and that every great movement on this earth owes its growth to great speakers and not to great writers. Nevertheless, in order to produce more equality and uniformity in the defense of any doctrine, its fundamental principles must be committed to writing. May these 2 volumes therefore serve as the building stones which I contribute to the joint work at the Fortress Landsberg and Bleck at 12:30 in the afternoon of November 9th, 1923. Those names are given below. Fell in front of the Ferdinand in the forecourt of the former war ministry in Munich for the loyal faith in the resurrection of their people. It's just a ton of names. I don't want to. So-called national officials refused to allow the dead heroes a common burial, so I dedicate the first volume of this work to them as a common memorial, that the memory of those martyrs may be a permanent source of light for the followers of our movement. The Fortress, Landsberg and Bleck, October 16, 1924. Translator's introduction. And placing before the reader this unabridged translation of Adolf Hitler's book, Mein Kampf, I feel it my duty to call attention to certain historical facts which must be borne in mind if the reader would... Oh, jeez, the screen's like tearing my eyeballs. Placing before I feel my duty to call attention to certain historical facts which must be borne in mind if the reader would form a fair judgment to what is written in this extraordinary work. The first volume of Mein Kampf was written while the author was imprisoned in a Bavarian fortress. How did he get there and why? The answer to that question is important because the book deals with the events which brought. The answer to that question is important because... Oh, I just read the same thing. The author into this plight, and because he wrote under the emotional stress caused by the historical happenings of the time. It was the hour of Germany's deepest humiliation, somewhat parallel to that of a little over a century before. What Napoleon did dismembered the old German Empire, and French soldiers occupied almost the whole of Germany. In the beginning of 1923, the French invaded Germany, occupied by the Ruhr district, and seized several German towns in the Rhineland. Okay, that's it's part 1 of me reading Mein Kampf. Hope you enjoy. Yeah.